In this episode, we're going to be going over the Week 7 rankings.
Some news including AB. Is he back?
Yeah.
Is he back? Is he going on the Hawks? Is DK Metcalf going to be nothing? Is Lockett going to be locked up and be nothing? Is Antonio Brown going to be the biggest, juiciest, beautiful
Pickup
of the week? Find out now.
Let's get it.
Welcome to the Fantasy Football Brothers. Let's meet your host. From the cold and harsh, distant land of Mother Russia, lover of romantic walks from his bed to his couch, Boris Wagner. From the sunshine state of California, lover of barbershops and sleeping in, Richard Wagner. Thank you for joining the Fantasy Football Brothers for another episode.
Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Football Brothers. My name is Richard Wagner.
And I am Boris Wagner. Wow, I have never seen you this jolly, man.
Listen, I am so pumped up because what did I tell you guys yesterday? I think I told you guys yesterday. Grab Antonio Brown.
You didn't.
I didn't.
Not that I know of.
I think I mentioned him. Yeah, because it was in the thing.
Was he?
Yeah, you wrote him down. I did tell you to grab Antonio Brown. Listen to me, guys. I've been saying Antonio Brown for a while now. I have him in every single one of my leagues.
You do not have him in it because I have him in 3 leagues. So that,
And we're
that
not-
clearly.
Okay, I have him in every league except 2, but I'm in a lot of leagues. Pretty much most of my leagues. Bottom line is
You
I
have
have
him in
him
5 leagues?
but I'm in 6.
4?
And I have him in my big leagues too.
I
But
got him. I literally just last night I was debating. I was just like, oh my god, what do I do? Oh my god. And
Boris
I-
was asking me. He was asking me who should I
No.
do. I'm saying Antonio Brown. No doubt.
no,
you
that
gotta
was
pick him
before.
up. Yeah,
Before you actually, you were telling me before. You're like 99%. He gets a job.
Right.
100%. Whatever. 99%. And it was hard because I'm not like in one league I'm killing it, but in some other leagues I know I'm not doing the best. So it's hard for me to gamble like that. But you know what? I said to myself, the only way I do win is if he does return week 9.
Right.
And he starts balling out for me. And, of course, today, so I did this last night. There was no noti on him. Today I wake up, and there's some noties. And PD's been picked up. He's getting picked up
He's
a
getting
lot.
picked up hot. I mean, listen. We kind of saw this happening. You know, it was pretty much up to is the league going to suspend him for more than 8 games, and it was looking like they weren't. There was no new news. I mean, there wasn't any news on how that court case went. I think he had a court case September 25th that would decide a lot. I didn't see any news about that. But knowing how injury-prone players are this season, and knowing with this whole COVID thing,
And knowing every single team has to play Kansas City.
right, knowing every team has to play Kansas City. But even though the on the COVID side it's been way less than I anticipated. You know, no stars getting out because of COVID.
For sure.
But-
Hey, are you saying, what's his name?
Cam's a star.
No, what's his name? The kicker.
Sly.
Sly? You saying
He's
Sly
a
is
star.
a
I'm saying big wide receiver plays. But when you have a chance to bring in a top 3 wide, like I understand if this guy was maybe on the level of like Keenan Allen, right, where he's like a back end wide receiver 1, then I could see, and he was batshit crazy. I'm sorry my language, but Antonio Brown is. I would see maybe teams not doing it, but Antonio Brown being like probably right behind Julio and Hopkins in terms of skill.
As much as we can assume that. Yeah, we think that.
He
he went
it.
back.
He went back and balled out with the Patriots the one game.
it was, yes, for sure, but that's also the Patriots. That's also with Tom Brady.
You could also see based on his workouts, based on his YouTube videos that he's been putting out, he's been staying in shape.
For sure.
As much as he is, 33 now, he's a monster.
31, I think.
31, baby. He's been a top 3 wide receiver in the league for how many times now? I mean, like, in terms of fantasy, like home run, but for an NFL team and to have that skill level, he exponentially makes you a Super Bowl contender.
For sure.
So I just knew he was gonna get signed, as long as they didn't lift up that suspension. But in terms of other than AB, the main man himself, how we feeling today? How we doing?
We chilling. We chilling. Justin Jackson, we gonna find that in the news. He got a little pop up, like he had like the whole bye week. He had all this time to chill and relax. And I think what happened was Kelly was like, bro, like literally you trying to steal a job from me, bro. So I think he took like a bat and hit his knee or something like that because he popped up with a limited knee issue. I don't think it's too bad.
We got conspiracy theories going
But
on.
yeah,
over
I
here.
definitely think Kelly's a little jealous because he definitely outsnapped him like over 60%, and Justin Jackson looks like the guy to own. So
Right.
I don't blame Kelly for doing it. if he did do it.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm feeling good. Let's get into the
News.
also really quick about the Antonio Brown thing. He still could not be signed. I don't think it's 100%. I think there's a chance he doesn't, but I think the percent is pretty high up there.
That was it.
Yeah.
Wow, what a statement! What a statement, guys.
I'm just saying I don't want it to
It
come
looks
back and be like,
I mean,
oh
right
my
now,
God,
as
Antonio
of right
Brown.
now, it looks the best chance is Seattle, and
Right.
and it's just
Or,
we can talk about that. But like,
or,
what does that mean for Lockett? What does that mean for DK?
Yeah, I think they 100% go down, and I think that both
Who do you
of
think
them.
loses more
Sad,
value?
I think both of them equal. Because to me personally, they're in the same spot right now in terms of redraft. I think all three of them, if he does go there, I don't think it's a great landing spot for AP. I think
That's what I agree.
I think
it's
all
not.
three of them are like hit or miss wide receiver twos.
Right. That's kinda
Who
what I would-
who
Who have
any given
clearly wide receiver one upsides.
who at
any
any
given week.
given win can
Yeah.
be the wide receiver
Right,
one.
Exactly.
But I think consistently,
like imagine this,
hard.
right? Lockett. What kind of openings all three of them are gonna have now? Because
right,
they are all gonna be
right.
more
Who's
open
Gilmore
than-
guarding? I wonder.
right.
I think Metcalf probably sees the biggest, I would guess the better way to put it is the smallest downgrade out of all three of them.
I look at him getting the most because I think what happens is he gets
Right,
the,
that's what I'm saying. He gets the worst, the
worst, out
third
of
worst.
all
That's what I'm
of
saying.
these. That's what I was
And
saying.
instead of saying he gets the most,
Right.
it's probably like he gets the least of a fall
Right,
down.
that's just the way I look at it. Because I think still the way DK is, because he's so physical, he's so
I think
he's
it's
such
just
a big dude. I
a-
think he's gonna get majority of the number one coverage.
he
I
will
still
get
think
he will 100%. I think over Lockett, and I think what helps him out is AB is kind of like that. So I think
right.
the person who was gonna guard Metcalf is just gonna guard AB. Then we got Jeffrey and Sanders out of the game, and Ertz out of the game. Yeah. So I don't know. You playing Richard Rodgers or something?
I am gonna play Richard Rodgers in a pretty
Wow,
deep
that was a
league.
joke.
No, I
Really?
don't think it's that bad, bro. With the tight ends the way they are, I do not think it's the worst play at all against the Giants.
For sure.
Giants are actually better than most against the tight ends, but I still think he does fairly decent. I think he's just gonna get some of the targets. Like, who else are they gonna give it to?
Is it like 83 degrees in here right now? I'm
Is
literally
it?
sweating.
I don't know. If you want to go, turn it off.
I
You
will
can
in a
turn it off.
second. Djax expected to play. Interesting. If you
He
were
is
gonna start
getting guarded.
Fulgham,
The worst time to guard him.
um,
Fulgham is the guy to I think Fulgham
I think
right
you gotta
now,
play Fulgham over Djax.
You know
of
why?
course. Why?
Bradbury.
Bradbury's playing
Is-
Djax?
yeah.
Right. And Djax is getting injured first place, so that means Bradbury's probably playing Fulgham. Julio Jones, no practice. I think it's just precautionary,
No practice, no problem.
literally. We talking about practice. Mixon, no practice, precautionary.
This is actually not no one knows.
Well,
So
yeah,
we don't
he
know
just
how
popped
bad,
up. Right,
Because
right, right.
because last during the game he did have an injury, came back in, looked
Right.
okay. We don't know. Most likely it's precautionary.
Justin Jackson limited with his knee.
So another thing, Austin Eckler with all this, Austin
gonna
Eckler, they're gonna be more like we thought,
More
more
cautious.
cautious with him. I think, which I'm kind of slightly okay if Justin Jackson continues to be the guy. I got him in all the leagues that I have. Austin Eckler, I think more than less, the Chargers just don't make the playoffs,
For sure.
right? Because they have a hard division. If they somehow they have the team to do it, but the thing is they're so close, and every team is just there. It's like right there. It's like can you win those games? And them already losing 4 games. Like I just think that they're not gonna rush Eckler. I think Eckler is most likely not gonna play this year.
Juju did not practice. Yeah, scary man. Juju
I
might be a
think
drop
at this point he's a very, very,
I think you
very
gotta
close
trade
to
him.
drop him.
I think you got to trade him if you can.
I don't think you can trade him.
I think you can.
This
I think
is
you
what
can
you do.
package him with another player
No, this
who
is what I
and he
think
still
you
has
can
name
do.
value.
This
and
is what I think you can do with him. I think you just pray to the gods that within the next week, 2-3 weeks, he has a good game,
Of course.
maybe 15, 16 points,
Of course.
and then you just off like one reception. And
Right.
they don't just see that.
Deontay, full practice. That's good to hear. Bad for the Claypool owners. Landry, limited. Michael Thomas, limited. I think both of those guys do end up playing. Hunt, limited. I think, is precautionary. Jonah Smith, limited. I think there's a pretty good chance he does play, though.
Frisker, sorry, brother. You
Sorry,
did good,
brother.
though. That's definitely your best game of your career.
Probably.
Which is great.
Fant and Gordon practiced.
Fat?
Fant, I
I
said.
know. It's
Fat.
it
Fat
reminds
Fant?
me of 2 things. It reminds me of either you're fat,
Mm-hmm.
like haha, you're
What's
fat.
the second one? I can't wait
Which
to
is
hear
kind of
this.
sad. or of the Phantom of the Opera.
Or it reminded me of Fanta. Bell might not play. Depends on his practices and how
Yes.
caught up he gets with the team. Looking good for Clyde. I honestly think, I mean, this is just, of course, throwing out a bullcrappy opinion. What it's looking like is Clyde's the guy. And Bell is just, they couldn't win a Super Bowl with Darwin Thompson as backup. Even though, and
They
Darren Williams,
could.
even though, no, they did last year. How funny is that?
Right. I
Um,
think the assumption that the biggest assumption you made was they couldn't do it without Bell and Bell. I just think like, yes, what's the best chances of probability?
Right.
Of course, getting a better player.
Yeah.
And the way I look at it is like, until proven, I still 100% think it's Clyde's team. It's
Yeah,
1A,
until there's
1A
a,
at least, like at the highest
Right,
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 now,
right.
1A to 1B.
I think as of currently, it's probably one to the 2. Or 1A, 1B, of course, until we see something more.
Yeah, I think Bell has to do a lot to
Right.
prove himself.
John Brown doesn't practice. I mean, he's been off. I think he's been playing really bad recently because he's been injured.
He's been hobbled for sure.
Yeah. And Sam Darnold limited.
Hello,
it's gonna be interesting.
damn Arnold.
Joe Flacco.
Damn Arnold.
Damn Arnold.
You might come back. You have Perryman now. You have Crowder, who just got a groin. By the way, I just missed that actually. Crowder has a groin injury that I think he got in practice, which is no buenos. But hopefully he comes back and he's okay because Crowder has a beautiful matchup.
Yep.
He's been very consistent.
Very consistent. Well, that's our news for today. Let's get into our rankings. We're gonna start off with the
Quarterback rankings.
So we're gonna be going over our biggest disparities between me and Boris's in our rankings, and we're gonna start off with the main man Cam Newton. I got him in at 18. You got him at 11. So I can start this one off. I'm definitely a little bit shook on Cam Newton, a little bit shaken, based on what happened last game, based on their O-line play. But I will say that him having that rushing upside, he's always going to be safe. It's just the people ahead of him.
He got 20 points, so I mean, like after
And they're playing
bad as-
SF, right?
they are not playing us.
Who's New England playing?
They are playing SF. Actually.
They are.
Right.
I know he had 20 points. That's why it wasn't that bad. I think he finishes the quarterback 11 on the week. But I'm just scared based off that matchup, based off that O-line play, based on maybe SF even like not being able to compete with them, or it can go both ways. Patriots. not being
Right.
able to
I just
compete.
think that from him having a ferocious game, like just horrible, right? He still finishes with 20 points. I just think that like Belichick is not. I know I said this. The reason why I thought they were gonna win is because Belichick, doesn't want to look this, horrible twice. So for them to do this 3 times in a row, I would be ridiculously surprised. Like if he doesn't come out with.
I don't think it's up to Bill Bell. I mean, at some point, it's
I
just
think
like
I
your
think
talent.
I get it, but I think it's more than the talent. I think it's just the overall the way the team played. Like you said, the O line. I just think
Right,
that
there's a lot of mix-ups
it's a lot
and
of
changes.
a lot of messes up. Yeah, I don't think Cam Newton
It was changes.
completely.
No, they had people switching positions on the O-line, people
Right.
out.
I think they potentially figure it out. I would I'm saying,
Potentially.
listen, I'm
It's
not
just
saying
he's just not the
100%.
safest. Like if I was
No, he's definitely.
if
the
I was
safest, and have
actually
him 11.
deciding between him or Minshew or him or Carr, like I would just take the upside in those peeps and
For sure.
and the floor
and,
and,
and
take
I can
him.
definitely see that, but I
Right.
can also see him. It wouldn't be that crazy for him to be a low QB1.
Right. I don't know. I think he could be the QB1. I don't
Exactly.
think that's out of the picture. It's just in terms of floor.
Are we taking this picture together?
And I think that is our only quarterback biggest disparity. I think we're pretty close on
Right,
above
but let's say, like, for example, we have like where do we
What?
have Minshew? Where do we have Carr? Like those players, like
All right, let me
like
go
and
back
a lot
to
of
it.
people are. Oh, you have to go back.
Yeah, I was kind of moving forward. So yeah, that's why I was saying Minshew and Carr. I have Minshew 16th, Carr 17th. You have Minshew 17th. You have Carr 18th.
I think the biggest, one of the best plays this week. You just have to close your eyes
Is Carr?
and think to yourself, who is playing the ATL? And you
Yeah.
fit it in there and you say to yourself,
Stafford?
I don't care if Michelangelo, he
Right,
might be
right.
dead,
For sure.
but it's playing him. So I think Stafford is a must play. It's specifically
Yeah, we
if you
both
have,
got him at 13th. That's how much of a must play
Huh?
he is. We both have him at 13th.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, like, compared to a lot of your players, like, this is a bye week for you
He's
guys.
a great stream. Great stream.
He's a great stream.
100%. Well,
Like,
let's
if you have Lamar Jackson, for example.
let's yeah, for sure. Let's move on to our
Running back rankings.
running back.
running back. So,
We
you
are
know, we
s-
both
we are
got
s-
Zeke 1, we both got Kamara 2. Then we got a little split off. You go 3 with Derrick Henry, I go Kareem Hunt 3.
Yeah, I know he's playing a hard matchup, but I still think
Yeah,
no
it's
matter
very
what,
hard.
no
Pittsburgh?
matter what.
For sure. And we're gonna switch over to PPR here.
Oh, speaking of
What?
which, I don't think this is anything crazy, but DeAndre Hopkins misses practice.
Yeah, I don't think that's anything crazy.
Anything crazy.
So let's
He
look at some
literally
big
played
disparities.
without one practice.
We have Clyde. Clyde, you're at 16. I have at 11. It's definitely fishy, but like, you know, Todd Gurley, David Montgomery is like some of the people you have above him. And I just think
David Montgomery's been has been balling out. He got 19
played-
touches.
Yeah, and he
last
did
game.
so bad. David Montgomery just pretty much woofed last game, bro. Against Atlanta, he should have got like 20 points.
And what did he get?
I think got like 9.6. So David Montgomery's definitely, I think got like 19 for 57 or something. Well, how much points you get?
14 points.
14 points. But what was how much yards did he get?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't do, but he's getting like I'm saying.
right,
he's
he got
getting
saved
enough.
based off receptions.
To me, I get you, bro, but I'm looking at volume. And
But
so
like
for
if
him,
that was against Atlanta, if he didn't do it against Atlanta, it is very scary. I'd be looking to trade him based on his high point
for
right
sure,
now.
I think he is. To me, he's a solid high RB2, and if Bell plays, I rather play Montgomery than Clyde.
Yeah,
That's just the way I would do it.
for sure. I think it's close.
It's definitely close. Definitely.
Right. Other people we got Joe Mixon. You have him up at 13th. I'm low at 17th.
I know. It's just as much as we want to banter him and say how trash he is, he's getting catches now. He's getting some receptions, and he's getting a lot of touches. Like, they're utilizing him. I think what happens every single year with Cincinnati is they're like, we're not gonna focus on this guy right here who might be a great
and
player.
then second half of the year.
And second half, we're like, fine. I know we probably lost these games because we didn't play him, but we're gonna play him. So he's being utilized a lot.
yeah.
Bernard did take away his touchdown, which
Bernard's
sucks.
gonna take away his upside every single week.
For sure. But I think he still has enough.
Melvin Gordon, you got him all the way down at 30. I got him at 18.
That's just because I assumed he wasn't really gonna play, and if he was, he's gonna be very limited. But if he is playing, and he's not limited at all, then I have him as like a low end RB2, mid
Wow.
RB2, mid
Yeah,
RB2.
he probably jumps up to like high end running back 2, middle running back 2.
Yeah,
Probably play him like where I'm playing Montgomery and Gurley.
yeah, I'd rather play Montgomery.
I'm saying where I'm playing Montgomery and
Right.
Gurley. And then we got Le'Veon Bell. You got him at 21. I got him at 26.
All right.
I just
All
think
right.
he's.
I
you
think
got
if he
him-
does play, he is going to want, just like Clyde wanted to prove himself that he was the best running back in NFL, which he showed he
he's
can do it.
definitely not.
No, he can do it. I mean,
But he's
to get-
definitely not.
right. But to get for 26 carries for like over 150 yards, Jesus Christ. Derrick Henry.
It makes sense. I think that one's just a coin flip, man. It's just hard to predict
For
what's
sure.
about to
And
happen.
that's what I'm saying. Don't like
Don't be a rankings slave, is what the word is.
that is, and don't listen to us too much on the specifically on Clyde and Bell.
yeah,
I mean,
that's a
it's like
situation.
it's the same thing as
Team
like
dependent.
this is like week 1. you
Right,
know?
right. It's team dependent. See if you can pivot. I would say pivoting from Bell way higher
Bell,
than
yeah,
pivoting from Clyde. I
for
feel
sure.
like you kind of have to still play Clyde.
Yeah.
So let's move on to our wide receiver rankings. Our first off, right off the bat, we already got a huge disparity here in Michael Thomas. Boris, you got him at 2. I got him at 7, behind guys like Calvin Ridley, Diggs, and then those top 4 or top 3, juicy.
I think this is going to be a
Wings.
high scoring game. I think Carolina is the real deal. I think they can score it at will at this point. And Bridgewater wants to prove some to Drew Brees and saying, yo, why'd you trade me, man? Drew Brees is like 7 years old, even though I'm sure he's happy, super happy right now with this deal and where he's at. And I just think it's going to be a high scoring game. I think Michael Thomas is just going to get so many other targets. We saw what Sanders got. I mean, Sanders got like what, 14, 13 targets, like 11 catches last game. I just think it's so easy for Michael Thomas, if he's healthy, to get so many other targets. And
I agree with you 100%. And I mean, I got him at 7. It's not like
He's just
I'm
safe.
falling off.
Say
Yeah,
7 is
I
a
would say
little too low.
that is the thing I'm gonna argue. I don't think he's as safe as,
For sure.
as we're thinking as these other guys are.
To me, 7,
as I'm thinking.
yeah, 7 is not
I think
safe,
Calvin
yeah.
Ridley, Stephon Diggs, who I mean, you have him above Julio and Devontae, which I think is just complete ludicrous.
All right, this is what I think about
But-
what's crazy about
What?
your thoughts. Your thoughts is like Julio was injured,
Uh-huh.
didn't practice.
Uh-huh.
You assume when he comes back,
Right.
he's good, like he's solid, like you have him top 3 every time. I'm saying beforehand.
But how many
But-
games did he miss? He missed like first of all,
Julio missed 2
First of all,
games, and he was
first of
hobbled
all,
since
he
like
missed 2
week
games,
2.
but he never got injured in that halfway in that second game that he missed. It was just a precaution take out, and then he had a bye
right.
week.
I'm just saying he's coming in
Uh-huh.
with a situation
I don't
where
think
he
it-
has some ailments.
Michael
like,
Thomas has been out for the whole season, bro.
for 5
And
weeks,
Julio
for
Jones
sure.
wasn't that safe at all, 100%.
But I'm saying you had him, I'm sure, ranked in the top 3 if he's playing.
yes, but
every
that's
time.
but that's because I didn't see at that point we had a way smaller size of Calvin Ridley and Stephon Diggs. A much smaller game size.
I just
to
don't
base
see
it
how you
upon.
can have him at least top 4.
I
in
just
any
think I
single
gotta
scenario.
see it. I gotta see
The
him
way
do it for one
Tyreek
game
Hill,
for him to.
Tyreek Hill is okay. He's been pretty good.
Tyreek Hill, of course, isn't safe. But no wide receiver is safe. No, literally
For
no.
sure.
Not Hopkins in the past 3 games. 2 of those games, he wasn't even a wide receiver 2. He was lower than that. I mean, Julio, Devontae just dudded. Like, no wide receiver is going to be safe. I would say Tyreek Hill, honestly, has been the safest out of all of them.
With 4 or 5 points.
He
last
did
game.
that one game, and the past 4 games, I think he went like 16, 17, 20, 21, like just complete safe games. So he's honestly surprisingly
sure.
been the safest one.
Yeah.
Um,
I think Michael Thomas is just ridiculously safe.
yeah, I just coming off that injury, I need to see it before I can believe it. In other wide receiver disparities, we got AJ Brown, Boris. You got him all the way at 18th. I got him at 12th.
I just think
what's going on
playing
there?
the Steelers, it's hard. I'm sure he's playing Fitzpatrick.
But it ain't hard for Derek.
For who?
Derek
Derek?
Henry.
Well, it's just running. I think
Pittsburgh's probably
of
tougher
course they're
against the run.
tough. They're tough all around. I agree.
Okay.
I'm just saying, like, in my mind as a wide receiver, like I think you can like cover one guy and have like all the other playmakers, but Henry is like they're not gonna like. There's 2 running backs, behind, and you like have to if you're okay to guard Henry, but someone else will be, I just look at it. Sorry, I just look at it as like Derrick Henry. He might not have the best
Gymnastics over there.
yards per carry,
Right.
but I see him being like a Sanders, like last game, where he can get like 1 or 2 breakouts
Right.
and just pile up that. Plus, he's
Or he could do what he did the game prior to that.
right.
where he
of
just gets 2 yards.
course, of
AJ Brown's
course.
pretty locked in, loaded, like wide receiver 1. 2 games in a row. The 2 games he's played, he's
Right,
done.
He
it.
hasn't played hard teams like this.
Yeah,
So
I
we'll
see that.
see. We'll definitely see. I could be wrong.
I don't think we'll see. DJ Shark
Maybe we won't see.
is a joke because of course we'll see. DJ Shark,
Ah.
Boris, you got him ranked 13th. I got him ranked 19th. Yeah, I mean, he did get the targets 100%, but there was some miscommunication. Listen, I'm not crazy about Gardner Minshew as much as people are. I still think he is pretty trash. I'm sorry to say. Like, of course, he's great for being a 6th-round pick. He's great. Yeah, I can't argue that. But I don't think he's no Josh Allen. He's no Mahomes. So I just think betting on this guy over some of these more established, you could say, or better quarterback play type of wide receivers is just hard for me. That's why I got him so low.
For sure. I have him against the Chargers. Chargers are ranked like 4th worst. Against the wide receivers. He has also he has a plus matchup, and I like it. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game. The way Herbert's balling out too. Yes, I'm not like Minshew isn't like the best right now. He isn't playing the best.
Right.
But clearly,
Listen, I
like
think
that
DJ
whole
Shark's
team, he's
great.
doing as good as he can with how trash that team is.
Of course, I
playing.
think DJ Shark is great. Like, of course, he's still a wide receiver too. Like,
Right, which is great because you
great.
got him at like wide receiver 2-3,
right.
range.
And then we got T Higgins, Boris. You got him at 31, all the way down there. I got him at 24, all the way up there.
I think it's probably closer to where you have him
100%.
than where I have him.
I think you're just not believing in it.
I just the way I look at it is like there's clearly they can support all 3, and I like last game they were all decently well.
Mm-hmm.
Like even Boyd having a bad game, he's still like did decent. So I don't know which player is the one that like has the game.
And I think it's T Higgins. I think that's what we've seen. I believed it was Tyler Boyd all the way up to this game.
Right. So clearly up to this game, and then you thought that. So it could
No, because I
switch
think it was like this, right? And then now it's
based on one game.
based on all of the games plus that.
Right.
game.
So that you didn't know, and then one game just
It just seems like T. Higgins, I mean, he had the highest snap share, and it seems like they are grooming him to be the one with Joe Burrow. They're both rookies.
for sure.
I definitely would want T. Higgins out of the three as much as I wanted Boyd before this game. I think with T. Higgins' trajectory, I'd probably want him. And yeah, I think he's just a locked in, like, low end wide receiver 2, high end wide receiver 3 for
I
the
had to
rest
pick
of
up
the year.
AJ Green back again on one of my leagues. I said, wait a minute,
That's
you're gonna give
funny.
me and then give me 18 points?
And-
Maybe I'll rethink about something.
and
And
then-
he got the most targets, so
Right. And then the next guy right in our rankings after T. Higgins is Brandon Cooks. Boris, you got him at 24. I got him at 32.
I wish I even had him higher. It's just so hard with the wide receivers. I think if you look at it, right?
Like, you would rather start Cooks than T. Higgins.
yes,
Wow.
yes, I would.
You wanna make a bet
That Cooks finishes better.
this week?
Okay,
Okay. How much?
dinner.
Dinner it is. We're probably going to forget about it.
No, I won't forget about it. I just think with the new coaching scheme, they clearly, I mean, they've even talked about it. You know, the coaching staff talked about it. Watson talked about it. Cooks talked about it, that they're trying to involve him way more. He still didn't get as many targets. He got 9 targets compared to 11, I think, from Fuller. So he's definitely not the one. He's not going to be the one.
I think
think he's
where
the
he
one-
was, you're definitely happy where it's
Ecstatic.
become
Right.
based on the coaching changes. I just got to see it more to believe it.
For sure. Yeah. I just like him a lot, and that offense,
As they
Watson
do
has
with
been
you have him, right?
balling. I have him in 2 leagues. Yeah, I mean it's nice, but I'm also seeing it, bro. Like if he got it off like 3-4 targets and he got lucky with a
Of
touchdown.
course. No,
Then
no, no.
yeah,
I'm
then
seeing it too.
100%.
I'm not like shitting
But
on
he's
this
just
guy.
getting a lot of targets. Like a lot of
I know.
a lot of wide receiver ones aren't getting.
But
that
it's also they've
targets.
had juicy matchups, so
and they're continuing to have juicy matchups.
True. You can't argue
My
against
throat hurts.
that. I'm not gonna even talk about Juju.
No.
And yeah, all right, let's move on to our
Tight ends?
Tight end rankings.
Bro, are we paying this guy to talk over me?
I think that's exactly what we did. Tight ends, full PPR. Let's hit it. I'm guessing we both have Kelsey 1. I would hope.
Yeah.
Listen, Kelsey's the guy. All right, Kittle, we got 2. Waller, we got 3. We got a little bit of a disparity there through our 4, 5, 6 boards. You have Hunter Henry 4th, Jono Smith 5, T.J. Hockenson 6th. I have it flip-flopped in Jono Smith 4th, T.J. Hockenson 5, Hunter Henry 6th. I think either one of those 3 plays is amazing.
I get that Hawkinson has been balling out in a
Yes.
sense of he's just been getting a touchdown every game, and he's playing Atlanta. So
Yeah.
I can easily understand him being 4. But for me, I just Hunter Henry, I think he's been actually involved more so than just touchdowns.
Right.
And I think they have a really juicy matchup with the Saints that they're going to have to score a lot of points. I just like Hunter Henry's just like involvement in the game more than Hawkinson. That's just the way I look at it.
For sure. Then we got Austin Hooper. Then we got a little
Austin
bit of
Hooper, man.
Austin Hooper is definitely
High on
moving up
him.
and up. All right, we got a big a thing here. Our first one it would
Gronk?
be Gronk. We perhaps pretty similar. You have him 8th. I have him 9th. But Jimmy Graham, I have him all the way up at 8th, ahead of Gronk. You have him at 12th, behind guys like Cook.
I think he
Hurst,
has a
and
plus
Schultz.
matchup. I mean, we saw he does have a plus matchup. I just think he's so touchdown dependent. Like,
He
he's
is.
also like he got like 4 targets a game. He gets
He
like
is.
4 targets a game. And so
100%.
he's in those realms of like people that get 4 targets a game on a weekly. You know, like Cooper, for example, got 5 catches for 8 targets. So that's already like 8 targets is huge, like a
Of course,
double
of
the
course.
targets.
That's why
So,
we got him ranked high.
Right. And so the way I look at it is Graham could easily
Yeah.
be
Dud.
where you're saying,
Yeah.
but he can, you know,
I don't think it's either where you're saying or I'm saying. It's either where I'm saying or it just duds completely.
right.
What's it called? Then we got another disparity in Dalton Schultz. You got him up at 11. I got him at 15. I think Dalton Schultz at this point is pretty much a non-play, based on Andy Dalton sucking. I will give them another chance. I'm just saying based off that one game. I will give them another chance. I wouldn't throw him in my lineup, but yeah, I think
I think you can
they're
still
figuring
go
it out.
worse, man. I think you
You can go worse, but if there are guys like
he was tied.
like
he
you
was
have-
tied for 3rd
I'd rather play Jimmy Graham. Like you have Schultz instead of Graham.
for sure.
I'd
He was
rather
just
play
tied
Graham.
in 3rd in targets. I think he's like, if you want to make Dalton's life easier, you throw it to the tight end and running back, and that's kind of what they did. Guess who was leading number 1 targets? Who's the number 1 in targets?
Schultz.
No, I just said he's the number 3rd. He's
Oh.
tied with 3rd.
In what? In the Dallas game? I'm gonna guess it's your boy Cooper. CD. Zeke. There it is. That's your man. All right, our second biggest one is Tonyan. You got him all the way at 16. I got him at 11. You got like 7 points, I think, in PPR. I think you could do worse.
Yeah, did he get 7?
I think you did.
Okay. You definitely can go worse.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
And plus, they were flustered.
We were talking about this. I think there was at least a 2-week thing that you have to look at. We did not know that they would do this bad.
Right.
So I think this is a complete, like, not only was Adams back, and he never played with Adams like that, but clearly they just looked horrible. They didn't, you know. So you have to wait another week to see about Tonyan.
Yeah.
Me specifically.
Well, all right, guys. That is our rankings.
Yes. To check out our full rankings of more of the guys that we have, go to thefantasyfootballbrothers.com. Check it out.
Yes.
If you have more questions, like flex questions, or more like I don't
Defense,
know,
a kicker.
or you have 37th ranking and we only have 36.
Oh, what do we do?
Go to our Discord. The description is below. Ask us anything you want.
Yes.
Anything you want.
Anything. Join our Discord. Hit
you can even ask us who is nice boy more.
It's
me
you, Boris. It's
or
you.
this
There's
guy?
no argument. It is you.
Borat is coming out, by the way.
I know, 23rd. I'm
Oh my
so
God.
excited. That's gonna be awesome. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave us a review. Give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts if you are listening, no matter if you enjoyed it or not.
Porfa.
Por favor. We do appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, guys, we'll see you tomorrow for our
and hopefully we'll I don't know
Thursday
if
night
we,
preview.
yeah,
What?
we're probably not gonna go because your homie's coming in Probably
Live,
not
right?
gonna go
But
live.
Sunday we will.
Hopefully.
All right, guys. Have a good day.
Deuces.
Deuces.
Thank you for joining the Fantasy Football Brothers for another episode. Visit our website at thefantasyfootballbrothers.com. Check us out on social media at the Fantasy Football Brothers. See you next time.